Flash. What if today was the day everything clicked? What if the 5 matches sitting on today's card across England, Germany, and Italy were not just random fixtures on a midweek or weekend schedule, but rather 5 perfectly readable situations where the data, the form, the tactical reality, and the historical patterns all aligned so cleanly that walking away without paying attention would be one of the most costly decisions you made all week? Because that is exactly what we are looking at right now. 5 matches, 3 of the biggest leagues in world football, the Premier League, the Bundesliga, and Serie A, all represented on a single card that combines title race implications, relegation battles, European ambition, and the kind of heavyweight domestic rivalry that makes football the most watched sport on the planet. We have Arsenal hosting at the Emirates in a match that carries massive implications for the title race. We have a championship fixture that tells its own story about ambition and quality. We have one of the most anticipated Bundesliga clashes of the entire season between 2 sides that have defined German football in recent years. We have a David versus Goliath encounter in Germany that asks serious questions about the natural order of the division. And we have Italian football's most historic club returning to action in a fixture that should, on paper, go in one very clear direction. Before we get into any of it, do what you need to do right now. Subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell, because every single day this channel delivers 10 predictions, a minimum of 2 odds, structured analysis, and the kind of content that treats you like someone who actually takes this seriously. That is the standard here, and it is not going anywhere. Now let us get into the matches. Match 1, Arsenal vs Bournemouth. We open at the Emirates, and this fixture carries a weight that every Arsenal supporter understands deeply. Arsenal have spent the better part of the last 3 seasons reminding the football world that they are back. Not just back in the conversation, but back as genuine contenders for the highest honours English football has to offer. The way they play, the intensity of their press, the fluidity of their attacking combinations, the defensive organisation that holds its shape even under the most sustained opposition pressure. It is all the product of a coaching philosophy that has been implemented with remarkable consistency and remarkable patience. Bournemouth are a team that deserves enormous credit for what they have built. Their journey from lower league football to establishing themselves as a Premier League club with a genuine identity and a genuine way of playing is one of the most compelling stories in English football over the last decade. They are not a side that simply parks the bus and hopes for the best. They try to play, they try to compete, and on their best days they can cause genuine problems for sides ranked above them in the table. But the Emirates on a big occasion, with Arsenal firing on all cylinders, with the crowd fully behind them from the opening whistle, is a completely different environment to anything Bournemouth will have prepared for in the training week leading up to this match. The press will be relentless, the transitions will be sharp, the finishing will be clinical. Arsenal win this one without conceding. The defensive shape is too well organised for Bournemouth to find a way through, and the attacking quality at Arsenal's disposal is too much for the away side to contain for 90 minutes. 2 goals for the home side, a clean sheet at the back, and 3 points that keep the title ambitions fully alive. Our prediction for Arsenal vs Bournemouth is a correct score of 2-0. Match 2, Burnley vs Brighton. We move to a fixture that sits in a completely different context but carries its own compelling narrative. Burnley are a club with a very clear identity, physically imposing, direct in their approach, deeply committed to the kind of defensive solidity that makes them extremely difficult to beat at Turf Moor when everything is working as it should. Their supporters demand effort above everything else, and that demand is almost always met by a squad that understands exactly what it means to represent this football club. Brighton, however, are a different kind of problem for a side like Burnley. The way Brighton play football is built specifically to unpick the kind of low-block, defensively compact setup that many teams in this division deploy. Their positional rotations, the movement of their midfielders into pockets of space, the width they use to stretch defensive lines, it is all designed to find solutions against organised opposition. And more often than not, they find those solutions. This is a fixture where the quality on the Brighton side of the pitch ultimately proves to be the decisive factor. Burnley will make it difficult, they always do, but they will not be able to resist the sustained technical quality that Brighton bring across the full 90 minutes. The away side finds the goal that wins the match without reply. Brighton come here, do their work, take the points, and leave without conceding. Our prediction for Burnley vs Brighton is a correct score of 0-1. Match 3, Dortmund vs Leverkusen. Now we cross into Germany, and this is the fixture that every serious football analyst has been circling on the calendar for weeks. Borussia Dortmund against Bayer Leverkusen is not just a Bundesliga fixture. It is a statement of intent from both clubs about where they stand in the current landscape of German football. Dortmund, with their iconic yellow wall behind the goal, with the intensity of the Signal Iduna Park atmosphere pushing every single moment to a higher level, are one of the most dangerous home teams in European football when the occasion demands it. Leverkusen under their current setup have been one of the most extraordinary stories in recent Bundesliga history. Their unbeaten run, their late drama, their ability to find results in moments where other teams crumble, it has all contributed to a reputation as one of the most mentally resilient sides in European football right now. They do not believe they are beaten until the final whistle blows. That mentality is worth points on its own. But Dortmund at home in this specific fixture, against this specific opponent, in front of that specific crowd, have the tools to win. Their attacking transitions are devastating when the space is available, and Leverkusen's high defensive line can occasionally be exposed by the pace and directness that Dortmund possess in their forward areas. Dortmund get their 2 goals. Leverkusen fight back and find one of their own, because they always find a way to contribute to the scoreline. But it is not enough on this occasion. The home side holds on and takes the 3 points in one of the matches of the season. Our prediction for Dortmund vs Leverkusen is a correct score of 2-1. Match 4, St. Pauli vs Bayern Munich. This is the fixture that writes itself, and yet it is so much more compelling than a simple retelling of the expected outcome would suggest. St. Pauli are one of the most unique clubs in world football. Their identity goes far beyond results and league positions. They represent something cultural, something community-driven, something that makes football feel like it belongs to the people rather than the corporations. And when they play at the Milan tour, there is an atmosphere generated by their supporters that is unlike almost anything else in the Bundesliga. It is raw, it is passionate, and it gives the home side genuine energy. But then there is Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich are not just a football club, they are a machine, a relentlessly efficient, historically dominant, technically superior machine that has been winning the Bundesliga for so long that any season they do not win it feels like a genuine shock. The depth of their squad, the quality of their individual performers across every single position, the tactical preparation that goes into every fixture regardless of the opponent, it is all operating at a level that the rest of the German football pyramid simply cannot match on a consistent basis. St. Pauli will score in this match. That is important to note, because this is not a fixture where the home side simply rolls over and accepts the inevitable. There will be one moment of genuine quality from St. Pauli, one goal that sends the Milan tour into absolute delirium and reminds everyone watching why football at this level is so unpredictable and so beautiful. But Bayern will score 3. They will score 3 because they have the quality to do it, the tactical intelligence to find solutions regardless of how the match sets up, and the individual brilliance to produce moments of pure footballing excellence that no defensive structure can reliably prevent. 1 for the home side, 3 for the visitors. A result that is both predictable and respectful of what St. Pauli bring to the occasion. Our prediction for St. Pauli vs Bayern Munich is a correct score of 1-3. Match 5, AC Milan vs Udinese. We close today's card in Italy, and we do so in the most fitting way possible. At the San Siro, with AC Milan hosting a fixture that should, in every analytical dimension, produce one very clear outcome. AC Milan are one of the most storied football clubs in the history of the sport. The weight of that history, the expectation of the Rossoneri faithful, the demands that come with wearing that famous red and black shirt, it all creates an environment at the San Siro where anything less than full commitment and full quality is simply not acceptable. Milan have had their difficult periods in recent years, but when they are at home, when the squad is motivated, and when the opposition is within reach, they have the quality to be genuinely devastating. Udinese are a team that operates in a very specific way. They are organized, they work hard, and they have an ability to frustrate larger clubs on their day. But when they travel to the San Siro against a Milan side that is motivated and operating with genuine intensity, the gap in quality becomes very difficult to bridge. Milan will control this fixture from a very early stage. Their build-up will be patient, their movement will be sharp, and when the moments arrive, their finishing will be clinical enough to make sure those moments count. Udinese will find it extremely difficult to create anything of genuine danger at the other end, and the clean sheet for Milan reflects just how comprehensively they manage the match from start to finish. 2 goals for AC Milan, nothing for Udinese. A comfortable home win that sends the San Siro crowd home satisfied. Our prediction for AC Milan vs Udinese is a correct score of 2-0. Summary of all predictions. Let us bring it all together one final time before we close out. Arsenal vs Bournemouth, 2-0. The home side wins cleanly and keeps a clean sheet. Burnley vs Brighton, 0-1. The away side's quality proves to be the difference. Dortmund vs Leverkusen, 2-1. A Bundesliga classic goes to the home side. St. Pauli vs Bayern Munich, 1-3. The machine does what the machine does, but St. Pauli find their moment. AC Milan vs Udinese, 2-0. Milan are comfortable from start to finish at the San Siro. 5 predictions, 3 leagues, every single one of them built on genuine analysis, pattern recognition, tactical understanding, and a respect for what each of these clubs brings to their respective fixtures on this card. And now, before we go, the most important part of every single video on this channel. This community has grown into something that genuinely moves me every single time I read through the comments, every single time I see the engagement, every single time someone takes the time to share what this channel has done for their understanding of football and their approach to predictions. You are not just subscribers on a number counter. You are the reason the alarm goes off every morning and the analysis begins before most people have had their first coffee. You are the reason the standards on this channel never drop. You are the reason 10 predictions go out every single day, minimum 2 odds, maximum effort, no exceptions. To the long-standing members of this community who have been here since the early days, you know who you are, and your loyalty means more than words can properly express. To anyone watching this for the very first time today, you have found the right place. Subscribe, hit the bell, and come back every single day. The football is always there, the analysis is always ready, and this community is always growing. We will see you in the next one.